Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden and welcome to day 17 of my 30-day garden transformation challenge. I think what I want to do today for my focus garden task is I want to address my trees. I have a bunch of trees in my garden that we planted just shy of 2 years ago. And a lot of them, I had plans when I planted them, I had plans to limb them up to make them look more like a standard tree, almost like a lollipop, but not like a structured lollipop, just so that you can see the trunk. But the thing with limbing up or raising the canopy of your trees is you don't want to do it too soon after planting because that can stress them out. So you want to do it slowly, do it over a couple years, take your time with it. And I think what I want to do today is I want to start raising the canopy on some of my trees, just taking off some of the limbs. For example, on this purple hopseed tree, this purple hopseed looks like a purple hopseed bush, which is what it's called sometimes, but this one is very commonly limbed up into a tree. So this is one I want to address today. My heptacodium I want to address today. Just a bunch of trees around the property that I just want to take off a couple limbs. It might not even be really noticeable, but I'm just kind of working towards that end goal of making things look light, airy, architectural, and kind of having enough room underneath a lot of my trees to plant right underneath it. But first, let's get started with my daily routine. Okay, for my daily routine today, the lovely Sadie watered my plant stash. You might notice a few new plants in there, and yes, I did go to the garden center yesterday. I'll show you those goodies in an upcoming video. While at the garden center, I picked up another bag of these buckwheat cover crop seeds. They have just been the favorite treat for the chickens, so I decided to sow even more in the raised beds. These grow super quickly, so they will have some new treats soon. I pulled out a few of the remaining plants and gave them to the bunnies, and then watered everything in. For weeding, I decided to work in my dry creek bed. The bindweed is the worst in this area, so in order to not get overwhelmed, I set my timer for 5 minutes. I wanted to see how much I could get done in just 5 minutes, and you guys, I almost filled this pop-up bag. The weeds are just nuts this year, and I'll probably be back to the spot tomorrow for 5 more minutes, just tackling the problem a little bit, but often. I use the same tactic of setting my timer for 5 minutes for deadheading these plain the blues salvia. I have to say I've left this salvia without deadheading it or cutting it back for many years, and it doesn't really look horrible. But when you cut it back to about 6 inches like this, the fresh new growth comes in after a few weeks and it looks so nice. But just know it's not the end of the world if you don't deadhead it. It's really a great plant like that. I fertilized the salvia I just cut back and got really distracted working on this area with Sadie.
And honestly, I'm beginning to see it like that too. Like, oh, there's a plant that needs to be deadheaded. Oh, there's weeds that need to be deadheaded.
It's just constant. It's constant. It's constant weeding. Look at that.
I get really annoyed when I like deadhead a plant and then a week later it like needs deadheading again.
Yeah. Let's say, think of it as a life lesson.
That makes
Nothing is ever finished. Nothing's permanent. There we go, that's life lesson. Nothing's permanent. I'm getting distracted. I have to focus. I'm getting distracted. Excuse me, sir. I'm getting distracted. All right, everyone, I am done with my daily routine. I got very distracted and started deadheading other things, weeding over here, helping Sadie. So I have to refocus myself. But I wanted to show you what Sadie's doing today. She weeded this area and now she's mulching it, and it looks really, really good. So huge thank you. Oh, there's a hummingbird over there. Huge thank you, Sadie.
Hi.
You've been awesome this summer. And I'm sad if you have to go back to school and not work for me anymore. I shouldn't say that. That's a terrible thing to say as a parent. Go to school. The other thing Sadie's going to do today is she's going to get out the blower and blow off all this mess. So I think that will be very, very helpful. Now what I'm going to move on to is I am going to move on to raising the canopy of my trees, like I was saying, and I think I'm gonna start with my 7 sunflower tree. And this is a fabulous, fabulous tree because it has 4 seasons of interest. In the spring, it has beautiful foliage. In the late summer, you can see it starting to get its blooms on it, which are so pretty. And the blooms are actually bracts, and the bracts stay for a long time until fall. And then in the winter, it has this gorgeous peely bark, which is why I want to limb it up, because the peely bark is one of the beautiful things about this tree. So by limbing it up, it's going to allow me to see the beautiful peely bark, especially during the winter time. So I kind of have to get in there. I've been leaving it so that it can grow, and it's really grown really well. I think this tree gets 10 feet tall. I'm going to put it on the screen right now. And it's pretty close to that. It's pretty close to where it's at. So I'll just kind of like, you know, limb it up. I don't know what else to say. I'm just gonna get started. Step back, look at it. Oh, that looks better already. That looks good. All right, step back. Look at it. Looks a little lopsided. You guys see that? Do I leave that? Do I leave it, Monty? Let me look from over here. All right. I think I'm gonna stop there. Yeah, that looks better. One more thing. Okay. No more. Stop. Well, that looks 1,000% better. What a difference. That took me less than 10 minutes. I was going slow, checking my cuts, all that kind of stuff. That looks fantastic. Oh, that looks beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna stop there. Well, I don't think I need to do any more. It is slightly lopsided. You can see right there, slightly lopsided, and it's just because there was no branch that was sticking up like this that I want. So hopefully it will fill in now that I've kind of thinned it out. It's gonna get more airflow, it's gonna get more sun, all that kind of stuff, which is great. I think it's beautiful. It looks so good like that. Oh my gosh, that looks great. So there's my mess. Just add it to the pile. My goodness. Now I think I'll move on to that purple hop seed, because that's definitely one that I needed to limb up and kind of trim up a little bit. All right, so here's my purple hop seed right now, and it looks like a shrub, and you can leave a purple hop seed as a shrub if you want, but I actually want it as a tree. You can prune this up, you can espalier this, you can pretty much do anything you want with this tree. It's really, really an awesome tree. It's drought tolerant, and it's really known for its foliage, especially in the fall. It has really bronzy foliage, beautiful foliage in the fall, and then stays like that. It's evergreen. It stays like that all winter long. So it's really beautiful, but I think it looks a little shrubby right now, and I think I just need to get in there and kind of clean it up a little bit, give my Vermillionaire Kufia a little bit more room to grow, and I think it'll just look a little neater, especially this branch right here needs to be taken care of. All right, I'm gonna stop there today for the purple hop seed. That looks much better. There's room. There's just breathing room underneath it, which is great. And I do want to cut back this kufia. I was talking to Michael. I have never cut back my kufia, and it definitely needs it, this poor plant. I've never cut it back because it continuously blooms. If you want a plant, if you live in a hot climate, and if you want a plant that blooms 12 months out of the year, get this kufia. It is absolutely incredible, but I definitely need to cut it back. Anyway, so this guy looks great. Now I can officially call it a purple hopseed tree and not a purple hopseed bush, which I like because I wanted this to be a tree. I imagined this as a tree. And then the podocarpus behind it, you can see I'm not gonna limb the podocarpus up. I'm gonna let the podocarpus stay nice and low and almost flat against the fence is how I'm gonna prune it. So it's just kind of a little different how you want your trees pruned. You can kind of control it a little bit, which I think is really, really fun. Next, let's address my El Nino Catalpa. Can you guys see the hummingbird up there? I love this tree. Oh, it's just the most beautiful tree. Is it a shrub? Is it a tree? I don't know, but I just think it's beautiful. I just love everything about this tree. Okay, so same thing. I just want to come down here and I just want to clean up the limbs that are mainly like pointing down. Like here's one over here. I definitely want to clean up that limb, just have a little bit more breathing room underneath here so I can see the beautiful branching right where Monty walked, kind of just in this area. So it'll be really easy to clean up. I just love this tree. I love this tree, you guys. That's good. I don't know what to do about this piece. What piece? Should I cut this off or no? That branch is fine. Because there's like a gap right here, so it kind of is filling the gap, you know what I mean? Yeah, just do that. Yeah. All right, I think I'm done with this one. I was talking to Sadie about getting rid of this branch right here, which I do think eventually I need to get rid of. But we do have a little gap right here, this area. So I think that kind of fills in the gap temporarily. So I think I'll just leave it. Again, this is a process that's going to take years to really prune it to the exact shape that I want. And I don't want to overdo it. I don't want it to look bare right now, but that looks much better, much cleaner underneath. I think I'm gonna move on to that one over there. I have another El Nino Catalpa. I actually have two more El Ninos, but that one I have pruned pretty recently. That one I haven't. All right, I think I'm gonna stop there. That looks good. That looks beautiful. I am very happy with it. And my rising sun redbuds look gorgeous. Our green waste pile is out of control. This is not all gonna fit behind the chicken coop where I've been putting the cold compost. I don't wanna give it to the neighbors next door because I don't know like what's in there. The goats next door is what I mean, not the neighbors. Because I don't know what's in there, if there's something poisonous in there. I think what I'm gonna do, you guys, I think I'm gonna have to hire somebody to haul it to the organic part of our dump. They have like composting and everything like that, like major composting. So I think that's what I'm gonna have to do because this is just out of control. Sadie's over there finishing working. She's doing a great job. Everything looks good. I think the biggest success for today was the heptacodium, the 7 sunflower tree. Oh my goodness, that thing looks so good. Okay, so Sadie and I are done in the garden for this morning. We did good. We got a lot done this morning, which is great. And I am super happy. It's amazing what a little bit of pruning for your trees can do. I mean, it's just like the teeniest amount of work, but it makes such a difference. But it is very stressful because you don't want to make the wrong cuts or anything like that. I wanted to answer a couple questions before I finish today's video. The first question I had was, oh, I have an ant on me. That's one thing about pruning the trees is that there's ants in there and they get all over you. So Shenanigans, which I really like that name, she says, I'm curious why you put in water fountains and multiple bird baths. Don't they dry up quickly in California? Is it expensive to keep everything weathered and the fountains filled? And my answer to that is I like the sound of water, for one thing. And then two, I think having water sources for birds and pollinators is super important for the health of your garden. If you think about, I know I talk about it all the time, but integrated pest management, which I just think is super important for the health of your garden. Integrated pest management, the goal is to have the healthiest garden possible and the most balanced ecosystem in your garden possible. And then you're not going to have as many diseases. You're not going to have as many pest problems, bad pest problems, because everything's balanced and everything's healthy. And so that one of the ways that starts with is attracting birds to your garden, because birds will eat the bugs, the pests that eat your plants that bother you. And birds will come to your garden if you provide them with food from plants, from berries, from bird feeders, and you have to provide them with water. They're not going to come to your garden if you don't have water sources in your garden. So I think it's super important to have fountains, running water, bird baths, because that's going to bring the birds in here. They're going to eat the aphids. They're going to eat the bad bugs. And then you're not going to need to address it as much with chemicals in your garden. So if you have a really bad pest problem, think back a couple levels or a couple steps and think, do I have water in my garden for bird baths? Do I have hummingbird feeders? Do I have enough blooms and berries to attract the birds to my garden? Because if you attract birds to your garden is healthier and you're not going to have as many problems down the line. So yeah, it's a pain when we get really hot, because you have to keep the fountains filled and the bird baths filled and keep everything clean. But I think it's totally worth it, because in my opinion, it actually saves me work in the long run, because I don't have to spray anything, because the birds are taking care of so many other issues in my garden. So to me, it is totally worth it. Next question is from Lacey. She says, I love the Q&As every day. I think the consensus was, I asked you all in a video a couple days ago if I should be doing a Q&A every single day or every couple days. And I think the consensus was every couple days. So thank you all who answered that. Lacey's question is, can we spray the Proven Winners water-soluble fertilizer on all plants or only flowering annuals? Thanks, love your channel. Thank you, Lacey. I would say only flowering annuals, because the Proven Winners water-soluble fertilizer is a synthetic fertilizer, and synthetic fertilizers, they go straight to the plant. Their goal is to go to the plant, feed the plant, force them into bloom, all that kind of stuff, which is great for annuals that are bred to just bloom like crazy. But if you put that stuff on shrubs or perennials or something like that are not bred to bloom like crazy, they'll kind of get synthetically pushed into blooming or extra growth, and that can actually cause a number of problems. It can cause the plant to get stressed out and produce more growth even when it doesn't want to produce more growth, which means either it can scorch in the middle of summer, or you can have, you can actually get like more bugs, like more aphids and things like that, because of all the new stressed growth and everything. And of course, bugs are going to attack stressed plants. When you want to fertilize other plants like perennials and like shrubs, you want to think about fertilizing the soil. And so that, I would say, kind of try and lean towards more organic, slow release fertilizer, because that's going to fertilize the soil. And a lot of people will use organic fertilizer even on their annuals. My friend Linda Knowles, who is the Rosarian, she only uses organic in her garden, even on her annuals, and that works fine. But it's gonna take longer for the annuals to bloom if you use an organic, because it's slow release, because it's fixing the soil as opposed to going straight to the plant. So Lacey, if I were you, I would go with the water-soluble fertilizer on just flowering annuals, and then I would go with a slower release like a spoma or like EB Stone, or there's a whole bunch of them, right? Or even you can even do I don't know, like compost or what am I thinking of? I want to say worm poop, and that's not right. Worm castings. That's it. Worm casting. You can do worm castings, right? And that would work really well and help feed the soil for all those other plants. So no, I would not use the Proven Winners water-soluble fertilizer on other plants. Last question for today is from Tony. Tony says, I'm ready to start using irrigation in my garden. Yay, congratulations. Is there a starter set you recommend? Yes, there is. And it's just the one that I used to start off with. If you guys go way back at the beginning of my channel. I've talked about this before. I have a whole playlist of irrigation videos, and I think they're all from my old house. It's the Rainbird bucket. I think it's called the expansion kit, and it's great. It has everything you need. It has 1/4-inch tubing. It has all the connectors, the couplers. It has all the emitters on it, and it makes it just really, really easy to get started with irrigation in your garden. Now, that is assuming that you already have some irrigation, like some 1/2-inch irrigation to maybe trees or something like that you would just add to it to feed your flowers. If you're starting completely from zero, there's a couple videos that I would watch, but basically you can get a timer that you can hook up to a faucet tap. And then same thing, you can hook 1/4-inch irrigation up to that. There's a lot of ways to do it, and you can make it as easy or as complicated as you want to do. But I definitely think irrigation in your garden is really, really helpful, really key. And I think the plants just like it better because they're on a regular schedule for watering, and the water goes straight to their roots, which is exactly what they want. So anyway, congratulations, Tony. So that's going to be it for day 17 for my 30-day challenge. Stay tuned for tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a really fun day. I have a special guest coming, and we're going to be working on a fun project in the backyard. Until then, I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.